And all right, let's see. I'm not at the yellow zone, so I probably need to get a little bit closer to my audio. Whatever.
In the yellow zone. That sounds like you have to pee really bad.
Yeah, exactly. Anyways, that should be good enough. I'm gonna have us go live in 3, 2.
I hear the stream.
1, and we're live. Like the video of us is here. Hey guys, welcome to Star Wars Loose Cannon. It's Loose Cannon. It's a Star Wars podcast about Star Wars. I'm Patrick Ebersol, and with me tonight is...
Oh hey, I'm Nick Oswald, and man, your shirt's looking good with that blue Oxford look.
Oh, thanks, man.
And you were trying to say that you were blending in with the wall too much. Give yourself a little bit more credit. I think you look nice and ruddy, like you've been outside today.
I have been outside at some point in the cold. It's not as cold as usual though, so that's good. Thank you for your compliment. You're always looking, ruggedly handsome. So today's no exception, Nick.
Oh well, thank you so much. I trimmed up a little bit.
Yeah.
Hey, but I don't want to take away from our third member of the
I feel
squad.
like I can't interrupt this love fest over there, and I wasn't told we were wearing collared shirts tonight, so I feel very underdressed, despite the fact that I am Alex Lowe.
Bring it on in, Alex. This is a podcast where we celebrate one another and lift each other up every day to ensure that our self-esteem is never below. I would say like a 5 on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best, 0 being how we feel most days. But that's not what we're talking about today. Well, for this moment we are, but not the whole topic of the podcast. That could be a different one. Today we're jumping into some cool stuff. But I feel like Nick, do you have any housekeeping you want to keep to before we jump into that?
Okay. Oh, you know I always do.
All right.
Hey, is everybody excited for Star Wars Celebration like I am?
Yeah, man. Every day is Star Wars Celebration.
Every day is a Star Wars Celebration, so I don't know why we stick it to a particular 5-day weekend. But hey, I got the time on my time off calendar. I don't have to travel other than to go to McCormick's place, which, if you think back to last episode, wouldn't let my friend Patrick be employed there. So I'm kind of sad that I have to go and patronize the place. I'm also really terrified because I realized that I have to go speak with other human beings and try to talk about something I love. And I just realized today it's just going to be 5 days of everyone trying to one up each other.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know if I can handle that because, in our circle of friends here, being you two, myself and Annalie Harbison, I feel no judgment. I never feel like I need to, flex my Star Wars muscle, but I'm gonna go in this space. I'm gonna have to be with all of these different people that are gonna actually me for 5 days.
Well, yeah, and you can't mute the haters in real life like you can on Twitter, unfortunately. Yeah. And also, I'm really curious about if this Star Wars Celebration will be like a Sharks and Jets scenario with Last Jedi and anti-Last Jedi dudes there.
I really just don't think they're A, numerous enough, B, really want to pay the price of admission just to troll everybody, and C, I just don't think they're just loud on the internet. They're not going to be loud in real life. I'm not even worried about the haters. I'm worried about the other successful, nice, positive people that are just going to be like, who the hell are you? Why did you bring so many Totino's pizza rolls? And I don't want them. They're cold.
Listen, man, if Star Wars did not teach you anything, it should have taught you that no overwhelming numbers, no overwhelming power can withstand someone with a lot of spunk, a lot of gusto, and a strong sense of taste that can really push things above the bar. That's what the Force is like a strong taste.
Strong sense of taste that says you oven bake your Totinos.
That is a force,
It is a force to be reckoned with.
It's a force for your taste buds.
See, I really need to call you while I'm there so you can build me up.
Just have me record some MP3s, and I'll just make a little CD-ROM for you of all of that.
Yeah. I'm already getting some good tips from the tweets out there. I do still want some more because our next episode is going to be how to survive conventions. So we're going to take your suggestions. They can be in audio form. They can be funny. They can be not funny. We're the only ones that are funny anyway, so it's okay. And then, even if it's just which fanny pack I should buy. Sorry, British people.
I feel like that is also something you might run into at the convention, is everybody trying to have a better personality than the last person they've spoken to. and that might just be an assumption on my part, but I have brushed elbows with people who are in the performance sphere, and anytime you go to after parties from like shows, comedy shows or whatever, or you would go to the bar afterwards, grab a drink, and there are other people from that space there, it all becomes like a I think the term is circle jerk, where everybody stands around trying to prove how funny they are. I think that's one thing that might happen. Again, I've actually never been to a convention, so I'm just guessing. But I feel like it might be like a nerd circle jerk where it's everyone's trying to prove that they're the nerdiest and also like the wittiest nerd with the hottest take, So
I have one last thought before we move on to actual
the content
business here.
The content.
So what I'm thinking here is what's going to happen is it's going to be me going to panels and me going to live podcast discussions from some of the more popular podcasts out there. I'm going to be waiting after
there are more popular podcasts than us?
Yeah, just hear me out. They exist. I know it's hard to believe. So it's going to be me in line with the other people that have podcasts of just one or less listeners. It'll be me, and like the only people that will be there will be other content creators, because in this business, everyone is making content, including ourselves. So it'll be me with all these other content creators asking questions to then fuel their content while we're at a live podcast show for other content creators that are more successful. So anyway, if you want to come say hi while you're there, come say hi and validate my existence, for fuck's sake.
Nick will have some treats for you. Depends
on what time of day you catch me.
That's true.
I'm gonna have to put some in a locker, maybe. So maybe I'll put it in a foil bag and put it in a locker, and
you can't just throw them in your Totino sack.
Well, see if anyone has a really good, Totino sack suggestion. I'm all ears.
We probably should have tweeted at Totino's a couple weeks ago to see if they would hook us up.
Oh, when I get my T-shirt, I totally am. I ordered 2 today, so I only have to launder like every other day.
Nice.
Yep.
Very cool. Well, awesome. So that's a little bit of behind the scenes, inside baseball, as it were, of what we're doing in real life to promote this little rinky-dink pod. But, that's not necessarily why you listen in to the pod. There's a lot of reasons you listen in to this pod. And one of the reasons is because we talk about topics each week, and we have a topic for you this week.
Yeah, Alex, just to get ideas for your own podcast. That's
exactly.
For sure. So here's my attempt at a segue. Just like you will see Totino's Pizza Rolls in your break room, I will also see random bits of fruit in my break room. And the other day, there was a very elongated papaya. And I said, oh my God, who killed Ki-Adi-Mundi? And nobody got it. So that made me want to talk with my friends who know who Ki-Adi-Mundi is, and just wax poetic about all of the really cool ass Jedi that were in the Jedi Council at the time of the Clone Wars. So we're talking prequels, and this is diving into this. Maybe the content's pretty deep, obviously. So we got a lot of ground to cover here. But this was Lucasfilm, Lucas in general, firing on all creative cylinders. Like, say what you want about the tone of the prequels or the look and feel, the not lived in universe, but when we look at some of the aliens, especially the ones that were more prominent, man, is there some creativity going, starting with, and not excluding anyone else, but Ki-Adi-Mundi. Like, what a wealth of knowledge here. So first of all, what comes to mind is, besides papaya jokes, are just other kinds of jokes, because he seemed kind of like an uptight sort of Jedi. He's the one, I'll put it up on the podcast screen. I probably have already done that already, but he's the one that's got a real sweet Fu Manchu, but like almost was a half-hearted attempt at a Conehead, but again, like kind of Ripley, like a papaya. And I always thought, like, while we are the mouthpiece of failed Disney Plus ideas, I got another one. So there's going to be a talk show on our version of Disney Plus. So it's like Disney Plus Infinities, right? So it's all the different versions of Disney Plus that could happen. And it's going to be called Ki-Adi-Mundo, and it's a Telemundo style variety show, and it's only in Spanish.
Man, I
think that would go over really well.
I'm imagining Sábado Gigante, because that's the only show I know about on Univision.
Ki-Adi-Mundo!
Yeah. Just every time he brings on a guest, and then a bunch of Rancors come out in funny hats and dance on the side, and then there's a random Tusken Raider.
So there's a little person that kind of runs around and steals something. It's like, "Aye!" and you go run after him and try to get him.
Yeah. I love that. I love that idea.
I'm terribly confused right now. One, I never watched Telemundo or Univision or whatever it's called now. But two, what council was he on?
Oh, he was on the Jedi Council.
Oh. So I did most of my research on the First Council of Constantinople.
Oh man, this is gonna be dope. All right,
we can probably tie that in at some point. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. This is one of my favorite councils.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was founded in AD 381 by the Roman Emperor Theodosius, and they were the ones who finally confirmed the Nicene Creed. They
my
were
favorite creed,
representing all of Christianity at the time, except the Western Church. They didn't really involve them, but there was all sorts of disputes concerning the third canon. So that was kind of why I thought this is what we were talking about, because of the third canon disputes.
Well, Alex, what was the Nicene Creed?
The Nicene Creed?
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to talk down to any of our listeners. I assume they all already know, but
highly religious crowd that you're talking to here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, it was basically ended with it was explained what they believed at the time, and it ended with saying they believe in the Holy Spirit. It was like the first confirmation of the Trinity, including a Holy Spirit.
And that was made by the Nicenes?
Yeah.
Okay. Great. I love that race of aliens.
That does really sound like an alien. That should be a Jedi in the Jedi Council.
Yeah. One thing.
Everybody, that was Alex's flub ups.
Thank you. Thank you.
Nothing if not my bits.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
He'll get it right someday, fellas.
I pledge each one of these times to try and make you double down on these.
We tried to make that one go pretty long too.
Yeah. But one thing I like about Ki-Adi-Mundi is one. I'll be the guy to just come out and say it. He has a big penis head. Or you could say like a finger if you want to be, safe for work by saying that. Mm-hmm. But that's the first one. The second one, and this one, I don't know, I think this is actually a funnier take. Do you guys remember those commercials, #only 90s kids, for Gushers back in the day, where the kid would like pop the Gusher in his mouth and his head would turn into a fruit? He looks like one of those fruit heads. That's like a CGI monstrosity.
Well, he ate the papaya Gusher.
Yeah, he ate the papaya Gusher. Yeah.
Episode 1 was sponsored by Gushers.
Yeah. Yeah, and actually that's the only reason he got killed during Order 66. It was a big, mistake, because they were actually they thought he was a Gusher, and they just wanted his juicy insides.
Think how good a Gusher would be if it was that big.
Oh man, you'd really have to like rip at that thing to get it open.
I wonder,
it's just too much gummy.
Do you think any of those kids in the Gushers commercials ever got murdered because some kid really wanted to eat the like their dad came home, or it could have easily turned into like a Dare commercial or Truth or whatever, where
Gushers, not even once.
The older sibling comes home and sees their sibling with the raspberry head, and then immediately just takes a bat to their head because they want the raspberry juice. That's the fanfic I'm working on.
Did you see my alternate title to this episode?
And where is it?
It's called Cool Ass Jedi, Cool Ass Aliens of the Jedi Council. Alternate title: How Ki-Adi-Mundi Squandered the Best Telecommute Job in the Galaxy.
Nice.
Because there's like a lot of scenes. I think these are mostly in Revenge of the Sith, where he's not available and he joins council meetings, also seated in the correct chair, but over hollow.
That title kind of reminds me of was it Birdman that had like the long extended title?
Of being something.
Yeah.
Wasn't it kind of also that like from Rocky and Bullwinkle though first?
Maybe, I don't know. Yeah.
Alternate title. Yeah.
Rocky Balboa-Winko.
Yeah, good one. Wow.
There's a little bit of Southern twang. Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Sorry, Annalie.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Oh, we only have love for our Southern viewership.
Yeah, I always feel bad for our one listener when we do Southern accents.
We only have. Technically, I'm from Kentucky, so it's,
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And I lived in Mississippi.
That's right. Yeah, you're Old Miss boy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think a lot of people know that.
Yeah.
I think they only know you as King of Batavia.
Yeah.
At least that's how I know you.
Yeah. So do we know anything about Ki-Adi-Mundi's like temperament or anything like that? He seems like he was kind of not a fun dude to hang out with. Yeah, he just always looked like very judgy. you know.
Yeah, he was always judgy. He was always naysaying like anything that like Obi-Wan was talking about, especially when it had to do with Anakin. And basically, he's the reason why Anakin turned to the dark side anyway. So, I'm glad he died.
Hot take from Nick. Bring that one.
I'm glad my coworkers murdered him in our break room and didn't get my joke.
That would have been a good third T-shirt to print out for Star Wars Celebration. I'm glad.
Oh, I can still.
I'm glad Ki-Adi-Mundi died. But that's
now
probably...
everyone's gonna. Okay, see, if I do that, then everyone's gonna think that I'm gonna be one of those haters, and they're gonna come up to me and they'll be like, "Oh, I bet you also don't like Rey." I'll be like, "No, I love Rey."
No, they'd think you're
Ki-Adi-Mundi.
They'd think you're a prequel trilogy hater. So they think that's your approach, right?
Which I'm not. We're spending an entire episode talking about only the prequels.
Yeah, and we've dedicated half of the title to Ki-Adi-Mundi already. Yeah. So,
Annalise says you can always do. We always have an excuse for Southern accents because Alex went to Ole Miss.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Well, and I would like to just say too about the Jedi Council in general from the prequel trilogy is you can tell that they were really just leaning into all the different alien creations they could make, because with Star Wars, with the original trilogy, you saw in A New Hope they had the cantina scene where they just got a bunch of different Halloween masks and threw them on everybody, and they had like
Wolfman.
Yeah, they had like 60 different alien races in the bar, and then after that they just kept to the same like 4 or 5 types of aliens that would pop up everywhere, just be like humans with cybernetic implants, Greedo aliens. I can't remember the name of them. There'd be what was the other one? There's the ones that have like the 3 eyes and then like the little like spout mouth, and
they're always surprised looking.
Yeah, those ones, and then the ones that have like the tarantula mouths, with the big beady eyes. That's those ones. But what I'm saying is that with this one, you have a council with like 4 or 5 different alien races on it, along with all the humans. So, and they're generally pretty cool, imaginative alien designs. So props to that.
That's what I'm saying.
Literal
Lucas.
Props.
Yeah.
Literal props to Lucasfilm.
Yeah. Send more. They need them.
Send more.
Yeah. So should we move on to our next hot teacher?
Yeah. You go right ahead to talk about your boy, and I'm gonna jump around after that.
So this is my boy here. And I also wanted just a little side note. The way I think about the Jedi Council is I kind of just think about them as like a really cool teacher's lounge. So
that you don't even have to be there physically. You telecommute in, and it somehow seats you.
Yeah, that's like, I think it's one of the many ways that I liked to envision what happened in the teacher's lounge as a kid, because you never get to see it. Mm-hmm. They're all just really cool Barca loungers talking mad smack about all the lower powered individuals. Anyways, moving along. So my guy that I like, for many reasons, is primarily rooted in one form of media that I tend to enjoy in the Star Wars realm. It's called video games. You you can play them on discs, cartridges, on your phone, on your Nokia, any of them. And
I wish I was a talented songwriter of some sort, because I want to make a little Patrick jingle, like Patrick explains video games.
We'll work on it after this.
Okay.
So this is my boy Plo Koon, and he was from a game that was kind of fun, but also a little difficult, called Jedi Power Battles. And it was the game surge that happened all around Phantom Menace, which was a great time to be alive, because that was, I don't know, maybe I just am like numb to it now, but I feel like when Phantom Menace came out, the marketing surge was intense. Like, it was a beast that had been reawakened after 15 years of being dormant, and you just eat your Taco Bell and play your PlayStation Star Wars games. Anyway, but Plo Koon was one of the characters you could play as in Jedi Power Battles, and he was really cool. Like, he's one of those guys that has that sort of design to him that just by looking at him, you're like, I kind of want to know what's up with this guy, because just from the races, which he is of the Keldor race.
Patrick, I kind of want to know what's up with this guy.
Oh, I will tell you. Just from his look, you immediately think this guy looks weird and like probably evil, but he's a Jedi, so that's interesting. You caught my attention. He has these weird little hang danglers on the sides of his head. They look like meat pigtails, and and then he has like these little slit eyes that are very kind of predatory looking, and then he has this big rebreather just clamped onto his face, and it almost looks like it's clamped so hard in that it's almost like clawing into his mouth. He's got a little bit of a Bane thing going on, right? But he was a Jedi. He was a good guy. So let me break it down for you. He was a Keldor male from the planet Doran who became a Jedi Master and a lifetime member of the Jedi High Council. So he was kind of like a Newt Gingrich. No, not a Newt Gingrich. Oof. Who do we say? I'm trying to think of a long-term senator. Is it one of the Kennedys? Yeah, probably one of the Kennedys.
Wow, great at politics.
Yeah. Anyways, pardon me for not being able to cite a single long-term Congress member that doesn't have bad favor at this point.
Orrin Hatch. I don't know.
There it is. But he held the position from after the Stark Hyperspace War to the end of the Galactic Republic in 19 before the Battle of Yavin. And so all the Keldor, they had masks that would protect them from oxygen-rich atmospheres. Apparently it would kill them if they took in too much oxygen, so they had to have the big Bane rebreather on them. They were also known for unique force-using traditions of the Barrandau sages. So Barrandau was like a spin-off religion, studied the Force, that essentially had a very kind of Zen-like philosophy that was very fatalistic, which, to be fair, most light side Force users tend to be that way. But they were all about finding inner peace and calm and growing closer to the Force by heeding it. So they would always listen to what the Force was telling them, which sounds a little culty, a little creepy. But they were always the types to kind of sit around and just, see what the winds were telling them, man. They spent a lot of time meditating and contemplating the mysteries of the Force, and many confuse the sages' emphasis on meditation and contemplation for apathy or reluctance to act. But in actuality, they were just waiting for the signs, dude. So, very kind of patient people. Just sitting there creepily with their rebreathers,
Have you seen the concepts of what Plo Koon was supposed to look like without the rebreather on?
I've seen what the actor looked like without his prosthetics on, but
we'll put that up because I see that you put that in the Google Doc.
Yeah.
But it's like kind of. I'll put both pictures up so you can see. But when he takes it off, there's just kind of danglies there, just like Obviously, I'm not going to make any jokes about phalluses or anything like that, but he's just got a couple of danglies down here.
Hang danglers.
Hang danglers. There we go. I forgot about hang danglers. And the like parts of the rebreather that looks like their little stabby meat hooks are actually still black when he takes it off. So those little stabbies are still black, and then his eyes are pretty beady, but like obviously the Oakleys that he wears, those dope Oakleys, because he's like
he's just a cool guy.
He's a cool guy. I'm gonna try that again because we can edit this. And then he's got like little black beady eyes up there, and he's wearing those dope ass Oakleys like Guy Fieri, and then he's got the little hang danglers below it. So it's pretty terrifying. I'm pretty glad that they put the rebreather on.
Yeah, he is the Guy Fieri of the Jedi Council, I would say. Just with a very menacing presence, much like Guy Fieri, but he's actually deep down a decent guy, like Guy Fieri.
He wants to just all take us down to Flavortown.
Koon would actually take his enemies to Flavortown quite frequently because he had a style of justice that was very closely thought of as vigilantism. So, guys, it's been a while. You know who it reminds me of? Batman.
Dog the Bounty Hunter?
It's Batman. It's a Batman shout out. Shout out to Batman.
It's Patrick, it's kind of like the opposite of Batman's cowl, because instead of having his like nose, lips and jaw and eyes exposed, it's the opposite.
It's kind of like
covering those things.
It's kind of like Bane,
Yeah, but Bane didn't have cool Oakleys.
That's true. That's the only reason he got defeated. He didn't have wraparound Oakleys. What else do we got on this hot boy here? Strong sense of justice. He was his style was termed rough justice, which is a great name for. It's a great term for like a grindhouse movie or a back alley movie.
What is it called? Blumhouse? What is that studio?
Oh, Blumhouse.
Rough justice.
Yeah.
But it's like kind of like gory.
Yeah. Let me see what else we got here. Plo Koon was a Jedi Master so powerful, the Sith Lord Darth Maul considered him to be one of the greatest Jedi warriors of his time. So Darth Maul was afraid of this boy. So another reason that I chose him in Jedi Power Battles, because look out, here comes Plo Koon with his yellow lightsaber. It's pretty cool.
I hate to burst your buble there, but they say that about a lot of the alien, creepy looking Jedi Masters when they don't have much else to say about them.
Yeah,
that's also in the bio for Sassy Teen, which I'm mispronouncing that on purpose.
Oh, yeah.
So both of them is like, which one are they actually afraid of? I don't know.
Maybe Darth Maul was just like really racist, and anybody that wasn't like a human, he would be like, "Oh, I'm really afraid of that one.
I'm really afraid of that guy.
That guy.
I don't want to see his hang danglers anymore."
He's got a weird vibe to him. He just doesn't seem right. I'm gonna stay away from that one. That's probably what the case was. I mean, Darth Maul, like, come on, he probably was not a very open-minded individual, you know. So a couple other quick bits here, so we can move ahead, and I can quit rambling while reading things off of my phone. He was a master of telekinesis, so probably another reason that he was a force to be reckoned with. He also used, Nick, you will also like this phrase, he also used a forbidden force technique called electric judgment.
Please do tell.
Pretty BA. I think it was like the light side's version of force lightning that a lot of Jedi were not comfortable with him using, because they're like, that's force lightning. You're just using
that term up himself. It's like, come on, guys, it's electric justice.
Guys, this is electric justice. What? It's my own thing.
That's so much better than the voice they give him in the Clone Wars.
Yeah, I actually haven't even seen what he sounds like in the Clone Wars.
It's kind of like a booming Darth Vader voice. Like,
yeah,
they bought the rights to the software for the voice changer from the same company that makes the Darth Vader mask.
Yeah, I imagine like they intend for him to sound very like stern, but I like to imagine him being like, "No, guys, I came up with this myself."
I call it electric justice.
It is electric judgment.
Hey, Plo, I don't think you should be electrocuting people. That's kind of like a Sith thing.
Nope, it's my own thing.
What did he say? I didn't hear him.
It's my own thing, guys. Jeez, come on, let a guy live. Hey, Plo, are you force choking that guy? No, it's called this is a force throat hog. It's my own thing.
I call it throat justice. You can't just put justice to the end of everything. And yes, I can.
Yeah. I'm glad we invented another character with a very annoying voice for me to scream into my microphone. This is great for all of our listeners.
This is a great recurring
Give
character.
people what they want.
Yeah, exactly.
Plo Koon with no vocalator anymore. That's great.
Yeah. Koon, they were really trying to make him into, like, he had all the trappings of a villain here, but he was a good guy. He had armored talons that were based on a traditional Keldor design, which were used to protect his sensitive fingertips, and were also able to focus and increase the range of his force powers. So he was able to shoot lightning out of his fingertips, but they're also like, if he got a little too much, like maybe he got a little too much sand on him, he'd be like, ooh, owie.
You know, Plo, I think you're just using those metal talons to generate lightning off of your fingertips. I really don't think that's cool that you wear those around everywhere.
My hands are sensitive for the last time. I'm really sorry for any distortion that's happening on my mic.
Don't apologize.
We'll fix it in post. And then finally, we can move on to our next hot guy after this one. According to Anakin Skywalker, the Kindor was one of a few Jedi to have, or the Keldor, I'm sorry, there's a typo on Wikipedia. The Keldor was one of a few Jedi to have ever defeated...
I need to log in and fix that one.
Yeah. To have ever defeated Grandmaster Yoda in a lightsaber duel. So
there's that.
And again, imagine if you just didn't know who this guy was, and you walk in and you see, Yoda and this guy fighting. Your immediate thought was like, well, Yoda's a cute little green boy, and we got, Plo Koon here with his meat pigtails flopping all over the place, and he's screaming through his scary mask. I don't know.
He's pointing his metal fingertips at you and saying, No, seriously, we're just play fighting. It's real.
I'm just showing him my new force technique.
It's called lightsaber justice.
This one's called impalement justice.
Oh, jeez.
It's my own thing. All right, so that's Plo Koon. You can find him on Star Wars, Clone Wars, and also Jedi Power Battles, and also The Phantom Menace.
I hope you all got your fill of the Plo.
The Plo, yeah.
Now, you said talk about other hot boys of the council. Should we talk about the actual hot member of the council?
Oh yeah.
Does the name rhyme with paddle?
No.
Okay, then I have. We know our tastes now.
Well, I think you just showed your hand there, Patrick.
Yeah, well, you know.
The name rhymes with Walia.
Huh?
I'm talking about Galia.
Ooh, I don't know this one.
Ooh, she was in the first couple episodes, the very attractive dark-skinned woman with the hat that looks like it's I don't want us to get censored. I don't quite know how to describe what's coming off of her hat, but
does it look like a penis?
It looks like many of them, kind of, or large giant of the sperm.
Oh yeah, they're little flippers, little flip boys.
Is that what you would call
We're just gonna use boy for every proper noun.
They kind of look like fish fins.
Yeah. Anyway, I've always found her wildly attractive. The thing she's wearing on her head is a traditional Tholoth headdress, which suggests she had ancestors from the planet Tholoth. I don't think it was just a fashion statement, but maybe.
Zoloft, like the antidepressant?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, man, I wear these flippers because I sometimes have a tough day and I really need to decompress.
I don't want to feel anything according to the Jedi tenets, so gonna pop me some Zoloft.
But let me give you guys this lady's measurements. She was 1.84 meters tall and had a mass of 50 kilograms.
Is that a quote from Baby Got Back?
I'm pretty sure that's how that verse goes.
My anaconda don't want none unless you're 1.4 meters, hun.
Oh, 1.84.
1.84
tiny,
meters.
Nick.
You can try that electric judgment, but please don't use the Force. Anyways.
it's different. If anything for this is a good thing. Well, this is a good thing. We're all going to use it now.
Yes, all of that. But so she was killed off in the big killing offs and whatnot.
Order 66. Yeah.
The big killing offs. I would love for an Alex cut of Revenge of the Sith. Execute order. The big killing offs.
You know what I'm talking about. Come on, you know the big thing that we're planning.
You know, when we're gonna kill everybody off. The big one.
You see, you are joking about a chief negotiator who mended ties between warring factions on Malastare. She saved countless lives in the opening battle of the Clone Wars, and just because I refer to her death as the big killing off,
dang, Alex,
you're gonna mock her.
Your Bernie Sanders is way better than mine. That was good.
Yeah. All hats should have many penises on them.
I'm tired of all these headdresses owned by the 1%. I gotta do one per episode now until the election.
Nice.
So she was cool.
Nice.
Good at the lightsaber. She held it in a reverse grip, which I think is interesting. I don't know.
Kind of like Rey.
I mean, yeah. There's not too many of those out there. She also originally chose a red stone for her lightsaber crystal, which, you see a red lightsaber, and what do you think?
Ooh. A little bit of a faux pas there, huh?
Mm-hmm. So after the Sith started to rise and there was more tension, she replaced the red crystal with a blue crystal. But maybe, since she wasn't as used to that, that could have been why she died?
Seems like there's a lot of misunderstandings in the Jedi Council.
Yeah.
Seriously, the lightning's cool if I do it. Or, like, yeah, it's cool if I have the red crystal if it's me. We're good guys.
I feel like there's a lot of, like, things that aren't actually like inscribed in law or in policy in the Jedi, council or in the Jedi Order. So someone's like, hey, I made my first lightsaber, guys. You guys want to see it? And they're like, yeah, sure. And they like turn it on, and the big red beam emits out of it, and people are like, oh wow.
And then everyone has this in their coworker life or their life where there's like a really big rule follower that everyone is really big on rules, and they come over and they go, the red ones are kind of frowned upon.
So, listen, I know where you were coming from with that, and I love the creativity. Really cool.
Yeah.
Bold color, passionate, really eye-catching. But kind of like associated with the Nazis in this world, and we prefer that you not use that color. You dig?
Not trying to virtue signal here, but... I don't want the Pepe version of a lightsaber because people might think the wrong thing.
You see, the thing is, literally everyone who has had that color of lightsaber has murdered one of the people from our group. So it's just kind of a weird vibe.
Trigger warning.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
The last cool thing to say about her, though, she did go into battle with General Grievous, and she held her own. She survived in that battle, and she just then died a little bit later.
General Grievous has 116% the amount of arms his employees do.
Now it's turning.
I don't think it's fair.
It's turning into a little bit of a mobster towards the end.
And now that you've brought up arms, that brings us to our random Wikipedia sentence. Our random Wikipedia sentence.
You want to pause and try that one again?
Yes. And now that you've mentioned arms, that brings us to our random Wikipedia sentence of the week.
Okay.
So when I found myself on the Wikipedia page for limb, the final sentence says, other species, such as serpents like snakes, had no limbs. So clearly, this is a two-parter, because that led me to the page for snakes, naturally, and the sentence at the end of the first paragraph. Some snakes were venomous, and their bites were painful. Which is, again, a great... I've almost finished this page about snakes, but should we let people know how their bites feel? Is it like a tickle? No, they're very painful. I have to put this down.
Also, they didn't have arms.
When I meet Star Wars Explained Alex Damon in person next month, I'm gonna have to ask him if there's like a pecking order of people who can edit Wikipedia. It's like, so when you get started, like, do you have to do like the snake and the snake bite one first, and then kind of work your way up?
Like, what are the areas where they think there might be confusion? Like, what are the ones where they're like, all right, we better open up an entry on the word bone.
Yeah, and I imagine some guys like, well, is this one okay? Their bites might be painful. It's like, yeah, but why don't you stay on the obvious beat for a bit?
Yeah.
Well, and of course that brings me back to there on the snake page has a link to black, which took me to color, which brings me back to my first ever random Wikipedia sentence of the week. Blue, green, red, and yellow were examples of colors.
On that note, we'll close up the letterbox. So, hey, while we're talking about the snakes, I want to contradict that wonderfully edited snake entry and talk about one of the weirdest and perhaps one of my favorite new discoveries that I never really thought about until doing this episode. But Aporensis. If you haven't seen a picture of this guy, I'll put him up on the screen. He is a Thespian, which is, I think, Greek for snake with a beard, because that's exactly what he was. He was a snake that had a full beard and a man bun. And he had one of these like really cool Beaker scared looking faces. You know how Beaker's like mouth would kind of open in a triangle and he just always looked scared. Mm-hmm. Well, this was Aporensis, and he somehow like his entire like from his snake neck up to the top of his head was covered in white hair, and had two sets of like just nightmare-inducing arms, and then had a coiled snake tail as his body, which he would coil up underneath him when he would sit on the Jedi Council.
All right, I have to look at a picture of this guy because I'm just.
You got to look up the Aporensis. He's one of the probably most out there characters that this team has ever done.
Jeez.
It's pretty creepy, but it's also, when you think of Beaker, it kind of softens the blow a little bit.
There's a little live look for our followers. Just stare into that face and just lose your mind.
Oh.
He looks like he looks like Alan Moore. Do you guys know Alan Moore, the writer?
Oh, the comic book writer, right?
Yeah. Well, so 1 second. To anybody that saw that in the feed, let me pull up Alan Moore for a quick little.
This is perfect.
Cross comparison.
I'll put this up on your phone right now.
This is a high tech operation here. So and then here's
lots of visuals for radio.
Yeah. Here's Alan Moore. Very similar eyes, the two of them.
They both wrote comic books, you know.
Yeah.
So Thespians only sleep for a couple hours a day, but their main form of rest is a type of trance that can last for minutes or hours. This trance provides neurological repair. If a Thespian misses the trance, they can become emotional and irritable. Oh, they just need a nap, guys.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you just need to sit and have a nap.
Have a nice trance.
And there are several different entries to Wikipedia where it mentions if they don't get this rest that they become, like, they can often get in fits of crying, or just generally emotionally unstable. It's like, wow, that's just like humans.
So does that mean that, like, I wonder if that means more of that race of people would seek out the Force as a means to control their emotions, or if that means that, like, they were terrible Jedi because, like, they had everything going against them in that.
I don't think there were a whole lot of Thespian Jedi from what I read, but I think on their home world, which may or may not be underwater, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they just have, like, a bunch of tech startup firms that, like, have nap rooms.
Yeah.
So, you know, Jedi, I'm not sure, but they at least have the means to have, like, a beanbag around where, oh, are you okay today? Have you had your rest trance?
Hey, man, just have a CBD gummy. Chill out.
Hey, man, you know what I like to do? I like to sit and trance out.
Put on some Enya.
If I don't, sometimes I get a little sniffly. All right, so I'm gonna rattle off a bunch here, just so we can get ourselves caught up here in a nice, neat 50, hopefully.
Okay.
Let's go to. I have an interesting tale for you guys. I have a mystery, if you will help me solve. It's a disappearance. Yariel Poof. Now, if that name sounds familiar, you might have a picture in your head of a long noodle for a neck, and the guy from the Phantom Menace that was seated and had the really long neck, who's one of the, like, more signature characters in that room, is mysteriously gone for the rest of the prequels. He's only in Phantom Menace. And there isn't, I think there's probably some canon, retcons to get rid of that, but he doesn't come back in Clones because George Lucas didn't want people to confuse him with Kaminoans. So they then replaced him with Coleman Trebor, which autocorrects to Coleman Trevor, which is now just his name forever.
Coleman Trevor?
Coleman Trevor.
Sounds like you went to
hammerhead kind of thing.
Sounds like you went to a boarding school.
Yeah, they got tired of having practical effects. Like, man, this is hard.
Yeah.
And they went to just CGI only in Clones, and Coleman Trevor came up. So.
That's literally might be the name of a kid in School Ties.
Yeah.
Trevor Coleman or Coleman Trevor?
Either one.
Two first names.
Either way, if you double cross them, it's bad news.
Yeah.
Never trust anyone with two first names.
I'll throw this up on the phone if you're listening to the pod, but Yariel Poof has the kind of seminal "I'm not supposed to be here" face. Like, he just got he's like straight up like, I wasn't even supposed to be here today.
Well, I don't want to take this too long, but that is, like, one of the most disadvantaged Jedi in terms of, like, combat, because he has this, like, super long neck. That's just the easiest thing to bat at.
It's screaming at "slice me off with a lightsaber."
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe he had some cool tricks up his sleeve.
I think one notable thing that you might be noticing as the listener that we haven't talked about yet is everybody's favorite Kit Fisto.
Oh, man.
Who was born on Earth, actually. This is canon. And this is what ties in Earth to the rest of Star Wars canon. But he was born during the filmmaking of Men in Black. And you can see him, he's pictured being held by Will Smith.
Yeah.
So fun to know. Another good thing about Kit Fisto, I think, there's been a lot on him. And his Wikipedia page is long because he is obviously a favorite of the Clone Wars. But one comment that no one seems to say is, looks good shirtless. Got a tight six-pack.
He does seem to have an athletic bod, you know.
Yeah.
Seems like he likes to keep things tight.
He's one of these rare figures in Star Wars who was killed personally by Palpatine. There's not a whole lot of people that were killed by Palpatine, you know, with a direct action rather than, you know, battle meditation.
And that's when Palpy gets into his lip battle mode, right? And starts just like doing his like weird like lunge, like old man kind. But he's like he's puckering his lips the whole time he's doing it. He's like, yeah, good stuff. Bad way to die.
His fighting style is intimidating because it's just annoying, not because it's actually scary. It's just like, oh, he does this weird.
The way he moves, kind of like when an old woman's trying to get onto the train aggressively. Yep. Like he's just shoulders first, and just...
like elbows like right into your rib cage.
Yeah,
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Poor kid. He didn't even see it coming.
Best hair. I would say best hair in the entire Star Wars.
Just the tentacles.
Yeah.
The tentacle dreads.
Yeah.
He's got a killer. You know, I got kind of a crush on him. He's got a killer smile, like very, you know, just charismatic looking dude. Apparently, he was one of the only Jedi to really show a lot of emotions, and they were typically positive emotions.
Mm-hmm.
And again, looks great without a shirt.
We also those eyes, man, those puppy dog eyes.
Yep.
He probably really liked Jack Johnson, if I were to guess. It seems like his type of music.
Make a banana pancakes,
ears,
baby,
right?
we can sleep in.
What'd you say, Alex?
He's got ears, right?
Oh, I don't know. That's a legitimate question.
He's got ears, and he likes Jack Johnson.
It's like people that like fish and don't understand why people wouldn't like fish.
So our senior prom, the way we did prom, it was like there was a song that was kind of the theme. Our senior prom song was Banana Pancakes. No, not Banana Pancakes. It was Better Together by Jack Johnson, which is like the worst final dance song for senior prom.
It's a great one to twerk to. It's a real good one.
Yeah, like, well, no, I want a good slow song. I'm with this girl. I wanted to like get that first kiss at the end of prom, nice and romantic, and then it's frickin' Better Together, and like, what am I supposed to do?
At least they didn't play the Curious George one.
Annalise says the thirst in this episode is too real. I am really thirsty for Kit Fisto.
And
Nick's married. Patrick and I have an excuse.
I can appreciate people who stay in shape.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a great way to stay in shape.
It's a great way to stay in shape.
Svelte, just sea creature, and it's like you know, The Shape of Water. I mean, come on, we've already seen this movie.
That's
you
true.
know what happens next when I get in that tank with him.
Just imagine your beard floating around. Oh man, wow! This is a real wacky episode.
The thirst for Kit Fisto.
All right, so we have Kit Fisto. Are there any other parts about Kit Fisto we'd like to bring up? I feel like we should leave an air of mystique so people look up Kit Fisto and they get to enjoy him on their own.
And do what Annalie did and just Google Kit Fisto shirtless.
Yeah. Next in the thirst train, a hot mama by the name of Yaddle. Now, if you don't know what Yaddle looks like, imagine Yoda, but with a slicked back mullet, and now you have a sex bomb on your hands.
Mm-hmm.
There's really not much to Yaddle. I read up on her on Wikipedia, and it's really just like she's a Yoda species, which I don't think Yoda's species has a name.
No, they're specifically called Yoda species.
Yeah, Yoda man. Anyways, she was like grew up in like slavery, and then was joined the Jedi Order and had really strong Force powers, and then she just like never really talked much. She talked in the same style as Yoda, and she really liked hanging out with the younglings. She would give them like candy and stuff, and like turn a cheek to the pranks they would pull. So she was like the cool aunt of the Jedi Order. She has the official cool aunt haircut too. Yeah, not much to be said about her, unfortunately. I hope maybe there's an idea for another one of our new TV shows on the Disney streaming platform.
She has the cool aunt haircut that you mentioned. She kind of has the haircut of Chicago Party Aunt. Does anybody follow that on Twitter?
I do not. That's a very.
If you
specific
don't,
one.
you need to check it out because
All
it's everybody's Chicago aunt, but like, you know, the one that never got married and just goes all out party.
There's a meme recently that said Jim Carrey looks like the cool aunt that you can like confide in or something. They took that picture of him from that Showtime show and used it. Anyways, I'm not going to describe memes over a podcast.
That's kind of the point, Patrick.
Yeah. No, but maybe we could do a little bit of a Full House sort of show with Yaddle, where Yaddle's in the Danny Tanner role, and she's just trying to take in her brother's kids. That her brother, died in an Imperial attack, and so she has to take on the kids and raise them herself. And she's had a life of partying and going wild, and now she has to kind of buckle down and really show these kids a stable household because they haven't had a lot of stability in their lives recently.
Yeah, and old Uncle Yoda shows up every once in a while, and it's just a thunderous applause for that cameo.
Yeah.
So Full House style sitcom on our Disney Plus Infinities account.
Full House.
Yeah. If only I could come up with a good name for it. I feel like Yaddle would play into a good name so easily. But
so speaking of the fervor over the Phantom Menace, do you guys remember all the speculation about the second Yoda species? And thought, oh, that's probably Yoda's wife.
I don't really, because I wasn't on the internet that much when I was younger.
And that was, I guess I'm a little older than you guys.
Internet invented?
Yeah, the internet was around 1999.
Yeah, but it was just Al Gore.
Oh, that's true. That was just Al Gore, like, emailing people at UCLA. Yeah. So, well, there was all this speculation that that could be Yoda's wife, and then they quickly dispensed of that. So she's just got the cool Chicago party ant mullet and sits in a chair.
Yeah, such great mystique to her, I would say that she was the Boba Fett of the Jedi Order, in the sense that, like, you just see her in the background and you're just like, I want to know more about her. I know I literally said the exact same thing about Plo Koon, but I also want to know that about Yaddle.
Yeah.
So there was a sitcom on in the UK in 1998 called The Young Person's Guide to Becoming a Rock Star. We could make it Yaddle's Guide to Becoming a Rock Star.
Sure.
Cool.
I'm just looking for sitcoms with Y in the
That doesn't sound British enough.
Why don't we just call it?
Should be like a mite scamp. A mite scamp tries to rock the bobby.
I don't know. It was written by Skins creator Brian Elsley.
Why don't we just name? I took some inspiration from you just now, Nick. Why don't we just name it Rock the Bobby? That'd be a great show name for Yaddle.
Rock the Bobby. Well, you need to do like Cockney rhyming slang.
No, Yaddle rocks the Bobby.
Get off your paddle. With the Yaddle.
Yaddle spares the paddle, rock the Bobby though. Next up.
I don't know why I do impressions. That should only be.
Next up on BBC One, Yaddle rocks the paddle. So there's that. We just described Yaddle. Are there any other primo dudes that we want to describe to our little?
There's a throwaway. There's Sassy Teen, which I can't look at that and say it correct. It's just Sassy Teen.
Sassy Teen.
And he's always got kind of like a scowl, so he is really like a sassy teen. All up until the point he's also killed by Pap in the same room. Palp in the same room as poor Kit Fisto. So.
Sassy Teen and Pappy Teen.
Yeah. Sassy and the Pappy, and then the Disney Plus Infinities show.
Yeah. So what was his? So he was also feared by. You said that Sassy Teen was similar to Plo Koon. Being
it had the same sentence that you read about Plo Koon. He's like one of the most feared warriors.
Oh, but it wasn't specifically Darth Maul, though, right?
Oh, maybe it was. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know.
Okay.
It was like the sentence you read out loud to me. They said the same exact thing about Sassy Teen. I think it's just because he's a really intimidating-looking alien with horns like a devil, and like Plo Koon is, the Oakley, the most intimidating guy you've ever seen wearing Oakleys. So I think they didn't have much else to say about it.
Yeah, nothing's more intimidating than a sassy teen, though. So
yeah. Last on my list was Shock T, who is the same race as Ahsoka Tano, which was the once and future Padawan of Anakin Skywalker. And one thing I'll note about her is they're setting up a plot. There's kind of a plot that goes from the prequels into the sequel trilogy and also the comics that are around the regular trilogy. Apparently, she recorded a holocron to try to warn Jedi to stay away and to also like keep the faith and that kind of stuff. And it was stolen by the guy that eventually goes to sell his wares on the planet of Batuu, which, if you have been reading up lately, Batuu is the planet that you visit at Star Wars Galaxy Edge.
Hey!
So they're setting this up to where I bet you got to, one of the missions is to find the holocron with Shakti in it.
Nice. Shakti would be a great like nightclub owner name in the Star Wars universe.
Like on Coruscant.
Yeah, or a good beverage.
Shakti. Well, that's what Kit Fisto makes whenever he needs to. He's in a hurry and he wants some caffeine.
Yeah, that's what people make in their pants when they see Plo Koon take his mask off.
Yep. Exactly.
Shakti. Urine jokes.
Wow. Perfect. Well, that was my exhaustive list, guys. I'm sure we missed some, but any of note that you guys want to talk about?
Obi-Wan Kenobi was pretty cool.
He's just a dude.
Yeah.
I like that Anakin fella.
I would have to assume there's got to be some sort of like new Jedi Order that gets created in the oncoming lore that's getting built, right? Because like the Jedi Order is such cool. I mean, it's basically like the SEAL Team 6/UN of the Star Wars universe. So like they've got to revisit that somehow at some point and build it up again. It's their Justice League.
I'm assuming that we're gonna get a comic book series about the new Jedi Order because every like man baby bro wanted to see that and wanted to see Luke create the Jedi Order. Well, I'm assuming we're gonna get something like that. But who knows if there are aliens there? There
is a game studio. They made the games Titanfall and also the big popular one right now, Apex Legends. They're making a video game called Star Wars Fallen Order. And it follows the events of the Jedi getting exterminated during the what's it called, the Big Bad Kill Off or whatever, whatever.
Alex, yeah, what was that?
Something along those lines. I don't know.
Yeah,
the Big Bad Kill thing.
Yeah, so maybe they'll spin that off into building up the Jedi Order again or something. So we'll see.
To be fair, there were all sorts of councils. Like we've been talking about the High Jedi Council, but I mean, different planets had their own councils. There was councils within the Republic, but all sorts of an Imperial ruling council, the Telosian Council, and then obviously one of my favorites, the Council of Jerusalem. And Galatians 5:2-3 tells a great story of them, where it reads, "Behold, I, Paul, say to you that if you receive circumcision, Christ will be of no benefit to you. And I testify again to every man who receives circumcision that he is under obligation to keep the whole law."
Man, I need to get some really cheesy youth group, like ethereal background music for whenever Alex does these.
You just need to get like a couple of chords on an acoustic guitar. It's like, your power's my power or something. That'll be it.
Everybody come up to the front if you're feeling it tonight, you know?
I can just imagine my youth pastor talking about his circumcision.
Yeah.
That wasn't your youth pastor, Alex.
And then I woke up.
So on that note, Star Wars.
Yeah. So thanks for taking this journey with us, everybody. It just takes a couple of people in my office not thinking I'm funny to want to set the record straight, with papaya jokes. So there we go.
That's what the whole podcast topic spiraled out of. It's just that one 5-second moment.
Who killed Ki-Adi-Mundi? Crickets.
You see, Ki-Adi-Mundi is a fictional character in the Star Wars universe.
Star Wars universe. Conehead. He was like the Conehead one in the Jedi Council. In the what?
He looked like a big penis, and I was trying to make a joke, but apparently you don't like my humor. That was me playing Nick. Thank you.
I am going to take 5 whole days off to go talk with my other friends about this at a conference.
We have a gathering. We have a gathering coming, and we will be stronger than ever. And then you get reported to HR for making threats.
So on that note, come up and see me, and I'll hand you these stickers if you are listening to me and you're going to be in Chicago next month. And between now and then, if you want to send us your recommendations for what we're supposed to do with this friggin' thing, email us at info@starwarslooscannon.com. Of course, give us a great rating on iTunes. That's how people find us, other than in real life, which I'm going to meet a bunch of nobody because it's only Annalie, and if she's not coming, we're not meeting any friends.
But then, we did at least 13 downloads yesterday.
at least, and only half of them are bots, so no big deal.
And I only paid for 12 of those bots, so.
Wow, I forgot you're investing that kind of scratch in this
Hush.
Yeah, follow us on the Twitters and the Facebooks, and also like and subscribe on YouTube so you can see us live and get our cool videos, because I've been mashing up some of the choice moments, which I don't know what would be one of the ones from today, guys. Probably the new name for Order 66.
That's a good one. Yeah, that's a pretty good one.
Yeah. I've already done a Bernie, so I'll probably won't make a new Bernie one.
Yeah, I'm Plo Koon, I guess, explaining why his Force Lightning's okay.
Yep.
If we're able to fix the audio so it doesn't blow out someone's headphones. Yeah.
It's okay, guys. It's called justice.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, thank you guys very much. We love and appreciate you.
Oh yeah, and we have a Patreon too. I'm rearranging the Patreon. I got new stickers, so I'll send you some stickers if I don't see you next month. But give us money. Give us your petty cash.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, thanks for listening, guys. And we will see you on our next episode in about 2 weeks. About 2 weeks.
It's called podcast justice.
All right. Thanks, guys.